Hi there, you're listening to Someone Like You and Me, a place where we share little stories about feelings, memories, and the things we never quite had the courage to say out loud. Today, I want to share a topic that we all go through at some point, when everything begins to change, when we step into adulthood, independence, and face the first challenges. If you're feeling a little anxious, a little lonely, or even a bit lost in this new life, then keep listening with me. The change in life, from university to independence. First, I want to talk about the feeling of starting university. I remember the first day I left home and stepped into a new city. Everything was new, and sometimes it felt like I was standing at a crossroads, not knowing which way to go. University is not just about learning, it's also a time for us to find ourselves, to better understand what we want to do and what we don't want to do. But there was one thing I wasn't prepared for, the feeling of loneliness. The first few days in the dorm, among new people, I still felt very alone. I remember one night, after returning from class late, seeing my roommate talking to her mom on the phone. I suddenly felt left behind. The pressure of work, family, and relationships, how to find balance. When I started working part-time to cover my living expenses, everything started moving really fast. Study, assignments, work, paying tuition fees, and even staying connected with my family. It felt like a never-ending cycle. I remember once feeling overwhelmed, like I had no energy left to do anything. I turned to some soft music to relax. And one thing I realized was that I had forgotten about myself in all of that. Balance doesn't come from doing everything right, but from knowing how to listen to myself, to find time for things that make me happy and relaxed. For me, the most important thing was not getting caught up in the pressures from the outside world. I started learning how to say no to unnecessary requests, to make time for things that help me unwind. One of the things I do is take a walk in the park when I have a day off. It's a way for me to relieve stress and find peace within myself. Lost in a world full of expectations, finding myself. I'm sure you've asked yourself at some point, am I doing the right thing? Can I achieve what others have achieved? That feeling of being lost sometimes arises when we have to live up to society's, family's, or friends' expectations. I remember feeling like everyone around me already had everything, a stable job, good relationships, while I hadn't figured things out yet. During those times, I felt so much pressure, as if I was failing in the eyes of others. But then, I realized that everyone has their own journey. And actually, no one can measure my growth except me. I started to accept myself, stop comparing myself to others, and not blame myself for things I hadn't achieved yet. That feeling of being lost isn't the end, but a sign that I need to find myself. And I believe, all of us can find our own path if we are patient and never give up. Today's episode comes to an end. Thank you for listening until the very last moment. Don't forget, when everything changes, remember to listen to yourself and love yourself even more. I'll see you in the next episode of Someone Like You and Me.